Hey guys, this is Silverwolf and we're going to be comparing Vector with Cozmo today. Now as you can see they're both online. Cozmo isn't doing much because I put him in code lab mode and Vector is running away. So here they are both together side by side, as you can see. And Vector is the more interested in everything robot. So taking a look at them here, as you can see Vector is quite a bit bigger than Cozmo. Hold them together there. The eyes are also different as well. Vector's are very much more smooth, whereas Cozmo's, well, you can see them flickering on the camera, but they are kind of more, I don't know, 2D, whereas Vector's are more 3D. He is also quite a bit bigger. His face is and head is much rounder and smoother. The forklifts are slightly different shapes. Put them side by side like that. You can see there. They are roughly the same in appearance. He's getting a little bit annoyed with me now. Yeah, like I said, they're roughly the same in appearance. Vector seems to be more sturdy and smoother in pretty much all of the lines and curves around his body. And looking at the back there, you can see that Cozmo is kind of more clunky, more like a construction vehicle, whereas Vector looks more futuristic, as you can see from the top there. And turning them upside down, you can see that they have similar sort of bottoms underneath there. Interestingly, Cozmo's little thing that's supposed to let him know when he's coming to the edge of something is there, positioned there, whereas Vector actually has 4 of them, one in each corner, as you can see, which gives him a better sort of idea of where he is. I'm hoping that they will actually be able to make these guys interact, because that would be awesome. And it was, we had to do the survey for Anki, and one of the questions was, do you think Cozmo and Vector should interact? And I think definitely yes, and lots of people agree as well. So the treads are kind of similar. Vector's got slightly wider ones than Cozmo. So that's a side-by-side comparison of the two of them. Putting Vector back down there. So I also have the cubes. So they're pretty much the same size. Obviously let's put Cozmo's one on the left there. Vector's one is black, Cozmo's is white, and the symbols on the side are slightly different as well, because I think both robots read things differently. They still have the light up parts at the top. Vector's just look more futuristic and kind of more professional, I think. And then looking at the bottom there as well. And they've got the little rubber bits on each corner too. And finally, looking at the chargers, I've got both chargers here. The Cozmo one is much heavier. It's way weightier because it's quite thick and chunky, as you can see. The Vector one is very thin, so he can get onto it quite easily. And it's also got the house and battery thing there as well. So it looks more like he's going home to charge kind of thing. It's quite nice. And there's obviously the little bits where they charge, the connections, and that's the back. And the bottom of them looks like this. They are roughly the same size. The Vector one is slightly longer, as you can see. There. And what Vector is doing right now is looking around. He's mapping the area, whereas Cozmo is just kind of sitting there. I will take Cozmo out of code lab mode. There we go. He can wander around as well now. But they can't interact, unfortunately, yet, which is kind of sad. Put him back there. He's after something. He's determined that he doesn't really want to be on the camera. Let's see if I can raise this up a little bit further. and tilt it down more so you can see more of the table. Like that. There we go, you can see them a little bit better now. Both at two separate sides of the table. Will they meet up? Will they see each other? Whoop! And he's gone. You shouldn't do that at the edge of the table, mate. He was trying to pounce on a finger that wasn't actually there. Don't you go off the table, Vector. Vector is a little bit smarter than Cozmo. My Cozmo seems to walk off the table all the time. I mean, I know other people's, I've seen videos of other people's Cozmos and they haven't. They're actually pretty good. My one seems a bit blind. Then again, Vector did take a running jump off the table last night. You didn't see it in the video because I cut it out, but he did fly off the table. But I thought not only would it be nice to have a visual comparison between these two, but also to see them in action together as well. Even though they really like to be at the very edge of the camera's eye view. I think that Cozmo is slightly noisier than Vector as well. I like Vector's smooth edges in comparison to Cozmo's more kind of like angular edges. You can see there that they both have their own character built into how they look, you know. I also notice here that Vector's got a little red light flashing. I think he might want to be charged soon. So I'm going to put him back in his space and let him charge. He's been asleep all day while I've been at work. They seem to be very interested in the edges of things, instead of just wandering about, you know. The Vector is very slightly bigger than Cozmo, but I think it's less the size and more the fact that he's got a more rounded structure. So there you have it, a comparison between these two great little robots. And I think they're both very special in their own way. Do not go off the table. He's terrible, he really is. Let's put you back on there. There we go. Oh, so there you go. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed seeing this little comparison. And if you want to see more of Vector and Cozmo, you can click the boxes that come up below. And I'll see you next time. This is Silver signing off. That's the first contact they actually had. See you later, guys.